So, with that being said, what's going on, family? First and foremost, want to say good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. It is January 7th, the first weekly outlook of 2024. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm super excited. If this is your first time with us, it's your boy Wallstreet Ray. It's 2024, and it's like, man, we got so much to accomplish this year, but I'm always excited. I'm always excited regardless, but especially towards the beginning of the year because we got a fresh year in front of us to be able to really gauge our progress and our growth. But also, it's a lot more testimonials, a lot more success stories that are going to be created within the Trade Genius family this year. So many people already have gotten funded, getting payouts, changing their financial situations day by day. And I'm just excited to have the next wave, the next generation come on here and do the same. All right. So with that being said, I like to start the call off a quick 5 minutes of some mindset, just so we have the right attitude going into these trade setups, because realistically, we could all have the same strategy. We could have the same setups, but we can make different amounts of money because our attitude and our perspective is different. But with that being said, I do kind of want to just talk real quick about, having a positive attitude going into what it is that you're doing, whether this is your first year trading, whether you've been trading for years already. Realize that your time is coming, but you'll never see the end. You'll never see that light at the end of the tunnel if you stop where you at, right? You already went through the pain. You already going through pain. You already going through frustration. You already going through failure. You might as well get the result. You might as well get the outcome of it rather than giving up where you are right now. I see every year there's somebody that falls off of trading, right? Obviously, there's always people that pick up trading, but there's always going to be somebody that falls off. There's always going to be somebody that says, you know what, it's just not for me. I've been doing this for a year, 2 years, 3 years. I'm watching other people level up their lives, but it's not happening for me. I want you to understand, like, don't tell nobody what you're going through. Tell people what you went through, right? Don't tell nobody what you're going through. Tell people what you went through. Went is past tense. When you went through something, that means you completed the task. That means you overcame it. That means that you were able to defeat whatever obstacles you were going through. And I like to tell people the end result. I like to tell people what I overcame, not what I'm currently going through. And a lot of times we have this victim mentality where we just want somebody to feel our pain because misery needs company, right? But at the end of the day, I want you guys to realize that, nobody's going to care about your life as much as you. All right. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to do these calls. I'm here to give you guys insights, give you guys value. But at the end of the day, I can't go there and take the trade for you. I can't make you study for you. I can't, instill discipline inside of you. I can't do these things. There's certain things that you're going to have to overcome on your journey as a man or a woman. And as an adult, there's certain things that you have to overcome on your journey in order to get to the next level. All right. So just with that being said, I want you guys to really, live in the moment. Don't be too far in the future. Don't, because that's where anxiety and fear comes from. If you live in too much in the past, that's where regret and sadness comes from. The only thing you could do is focus on what you do today. And the day is living in the present moment. As long as you win every day, you'll have a successful life. Don't worry about when is it going to happen? When am I going to master trading? When am I going to have my first big payout? Honestly, that shit doesn't matter. By the time you have that first big moment, you're going to be so entrenched in this skill set that it doesn't even really surprise you anymore. You're not going to really even feel much of it. Like I can make $5,000, $3,000. Like I have big days here and there, and it doesn't really, move me because I've been in this thing so long. Wins nor losses really move me any direction, left or right. I'm very even keel because I've been in this environment for so long. I'm like a veteran in the game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, rookies, they're the ones that have the emotions raging high. That's why I always use sports analogies. Rookies, sometimes they fold under pressure because they've never been in that situation before. Once you've been doing this for a while, you start to get, used to the environment a little bit. So if you're still anxious when you're trading, if you're still excited when you win, you still mad when you lose, you still have all these emotions, that means you ain't been in the game long enough, right? You need to be here for a while. Make up in your mind that you're going to be here for a while. Make up in your mind there's no plan B. There's no such thing as a plan B, right? Like Obviously, take care of your family. Make sure you got certain things in line. But from a perspective of having the long-term end goal in mind, there's no way that I could fail. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be willing to die before I put this skill set down, right? And that was the attitude I had when I first found out about this. So I want you guys to kind of, take on that attitude as well. So that way you can really understand what it takes to become massively successful. You can't have one foot in, one foot out, man. Like you're either all in or, this might not be the industry for you. All right. But, if this is the industry for you, if you're somebody that wants to make money, I'm your guy. Let's work. All right. So if you're calling in from the free group, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I would love to see y'all a part of the Trade Genius community. We got the course. You also got the community where we trade live, which is $60 a month. I would definitely tap in. I may raise the prices soon just because it's a lot. It's very time consuming and I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. However, my time is increasingly becoming more and more valuable due to other businesses and stuff that I'm actually operating. So just to, not necessarily offset the cost, but just in terms of me taking time out, $60 for 6 calls a week. Nobody else in the industry is doing that. I haven't seen it. I see guys that charge $100 and they do like 1 or 2 calls a week, and just the fact that you get 6, we're trading together day in and day out, which a lot of people aren't willing to do. A lot of people want to flex their wins. A lot of people want to show you when they're doing good. Like we win together, we lose together, we get funded together, we make profit together. Like everything is together. So I feel like this is a very unique community because a lot of people cannot say that. All right. So just with that being said, let's go ahead and get to it. Now we on the charts. All right. If you guys got anything specific you want me to take a look at, just let me know. I don't mind pulling up the charts. You know me, I'm gonna start with my starting 5. Obviously, I got a handful of pairs that I personally check out first. If I don't see anything on them, I may dip and dabble around with some other ones. But I like to keep my trading refined to a select few pairs because, if I'm trading 5, 6, 7 different pairs at a time, it makes it hard for me to define my risk to reward. And then, you're more than likely going to miss out on the opportunity because it's hard to stay on top of all of those different trades. It's a lot of things that can go wrong with that. So I try to limit myself to a few starting out. And then if I don't see that or see a setup that I want to see, I may, work my way out into some more setups. All right. So I'm going to start out with my top 5. And then whatever you guys want me to take a look at, I'll take a look at that as well. All right. So somebody says gold, EU. Okay, perfect. So just with that, I'm a GCAD. Obviously, the market has been bearish this past couple weeks, really, since a couple months, I'd say, right? Back since November, we've been experiencing bearishness, at least on the higher time frame. Over the past week, obviously since January 2nd, which was when the market really opened back up, it's been bullish, right? So it is important to understand that there's trends within trends. Although this market has been bullish, if we zoom out, we notice that, we are within this higher time frame bearishness right here. And maybe this bullishness was just caused by, this area of demand right here. But I'm curious to know whether or not it's going to make a higher high or whether it's just making a lower high, all right, to go back lower. Because one or two things can happen. This market can keep going and break highs, and then that'll make a higher high, right? Or the market could just be making a lower high from this perspective, right? And then pushing down to make a lower low. So the market is in one of those bounce or break areas, right? And I know it may be kind of difficult to determine which direction is the market going, but all you guys really need to understand is win or lose, right? Whether you're right or wrong, you could still be profitable in a grand scheme of things, right? For example, I could take a sell right here because I do believe that this is a supply zone. I'll go more in depth in it in a sec. I can definitely take a sell right here. And even if the market does continue to go up, I could still be profitable long term, because it's not about winning and losing every trade. It's about pinpointing certain areas of the market, because I only take trades in particular areas where my risk is low, but my potential reward is high. So regardless if I'm right or wrong on the very next trade, if I pick trades that are in specific areas consistently enough over time, the law of large numbers is what's going to make me profitable. All right. So that's something I need you guys to understand. So I never go into a trade feeling like I have to be right, because I know the odds are in my favor over time. Right. So that's essentially what is going on here. Now, going back, that's the mindset behind the setup. Now going into the technicals behind the setup, just understanding the price action here. We had trend line liquidity that was building, obviously getting multiple taps of the trend line, which is why it got manipulated, okay, before the market continued down. So this is market manipulation. Then we see the market pushes down and makes new lows. So the fact that the market took highs here before going lower, this is a supply zone up here. And we see the market continuously respecting supply. Then the market breaks lower, right? But if we zoom in over here, we got the big buy to sell candle right there. I will look at this as like a breaker block. For the people that don't know, it's kind of like a break and a retest. It's almost like a support and resistance break and retest, but it's deeper than that, right? We don't really trade support and resistance because that's like not the whole understanding of what's going on. If we look a little, more detail, we see that, the sell to buy candle actually formed right here, right? So we had the nice big sell candle, big buy candle, right? And then on top of that, we actually have this little imbalance overlaying here. So if we zoom in, we have another buy before sell. So we have this buy candle, we have two massive sell candles, and then a little area of imbalance right here that overlays the previous buy to sell candle over here. So we see the buying starts over here. We have an imbalance right here. So then the market comes back to that area before it drops yet again. All right. So this is like what I'm seeing is like a supply chain, right? Order flow of supply. So you sort of see supply just being respected all the way down from the higher time frame. So you see supply respected, supply respected, supply respected. And then we just go from supply to supply and just see which area of supply has not been tapped into yet. And then we focus on those areas. So now I'm looking at this area right here. Again, we got a buy to sell formation. And, you could play around with these time frames too, just to see, this one is pretty decent. We got like a 3 candle pattern, buy candle. I'm not going to really call that a doji. I don't get too deep into the specifics of each candlestick. I really just look at like 2 candle and 3 candle formations. So we do eventually like end up engulfing that previous buy candle. So we have a buy to sell formation here that also leads to us making new lows. All right. If we break structure to the downside. So us breaking structure to the downside means that we have a unmitigated area of supply right here. Okay. If I zoom in on that area of supply, I also notice that, we have some areas of weak highs within it, which could be sitting as, inducement or liquidity. All right. So when the market comes back up to 7022, that's where I will be looking to take some shorts on GBP CAD. All right. So we see the market is starting to react right underneath that level, which is something that is good in my opinion. I like to see the market starting to react underneath it, because that tells me that, the market is clearly starting to, try to find some resistance, right? Find some resistance pretty much. It's starting to bounce around. It's starting to slow down. There's some people that's starting to take sales early. People that are on the lower time frames. People that trade basic support and resistance. There's somebody out there right now that sees this and they're saying, okay, look, I'm gonna sell right here, and I'm gonna sell right here, and I'm gonna put my stop loss above the high. Right? That's how a lot of people trade. They're gonna sell, then they're gonna put their stop loss right above this high right here. So you got to realize the more people that do that across the world, right? There's millions of traders all over the world. The more people that sell, okay, if this is their cell phone over here with money inside of it, okay, let's assume that this is like a cell phone, right? Hope you like my drawing. But yeah, this is a cell phone, okay? Just think with me. You have a bunch of digital money, right? There's millions of people across the world with digital money on their cell phone, okay? Now, the stuff that you see on the charts right here is not necessarily the money that's on people's cell phone, right? Like you can deposit money into a broker account. That doesn't mean that you're trading yet. That just means you have the potential to trade. Now, the market makers, their objective is to get your money from here on your cell phone and to get it over here into the charts. Okay. So they have to induce you to trade prematurely. And the more people that send their money from their broker over to the markets, the more people that see this and start selling early, guess what? This pocket of money gets bigger and bigger, right? Bigger and bigger and bigger. Now that this pocket of money gets bigger and bigger, it induces, or it entices, I should say, the market makers to do this: manipulate the highs and then get in. Because in order for them to take their big positions, a lot of other people have to lose. In order for you to sell, there has to be an equal amount of buyers on the other side. In order for you to buy, there has to be an equal amount of sellers on the other side. And that's just us, with, trading standard lots. Some of y'all trade minis. Some of y'all trade micros. Some people are risking $100 a trade, $1,000 a trade, whatever you're risking. That's the reality of how we enter the market. Now think about if you're a large institution or you're a hedge fund or something, and now you have billions of dollars or hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars that you want to trade. Now that many more people have to be on the wrong side of the trade in order for the big guys to win, right? So this is the reason why 90% of traders fail, is because they have to, in order for the big players to win. Like there has to be a loser, like there has to be a loser in this situation, right? So your objective is to not trade with the dumb money. We want to trade with the smart money. So dumb money is trading right now. They're trading early. They see the resistance tap right here, and they're like, oh yeah, that's a double top. I've seen that pattern before. And now they're all trading early. But what's going to happen is the bigger that pocket of money gets, the more money that the institutions are going to make. So they're going to manipulate them. And when this trade loses, that's when the market is going to drop. All right. So type a dollar sign in the chat if that makes sense. You understood that explanation. Perfect. All right. I make sure you guys understand this stuff. A lot of people don't know these things, right? They don't understand why a lot of people have to lose in order for them to win. So with that being said, we're going to wait for this to be taken out. I would be looking at 7022 bare minimum for an entry. Obviously this has like a 30 pip range, so anywhere within that area would be good in my opinion. But 7022 just as a bare bones minimum. There's some people that may want to take, this with like a 15 pip stop. So you might want to wait for the market to retrace a little bit higher. So that way you can increase your overall risk to award. Whatever you feel like doing at the end of the day is up to you. But that's just how I would, navigate these waters. All right. So obviously if you wait for it to get, halfway through this area of supply, that way you can have a 15 pip stop loss. um, you'll have like a 1 to 17 type of trade. But if you take it towards the bottom, you'll have more of like a 1 to 7 type of trade. So it's ultimately up to you. Obviously, the bigger the setup, or the bigger the stop loss, sometimes I feel like it's a little easier. Like if you have a real tight stop loss, you might take a jab or two trying to find the perfect entry, but the reward is that much bigger. I mean, a 1 to 17, that's like one trade and you're done with your challenge, or one trade and you could be good for the week, but just depending on your risk appetite. All right. So this is what I would be currently looking for on GBP CAD. I definitely be in the game looking for that. All right. Let's take a quick look at gold. Saw somebody ask about that. So yeah, gold was an interesting trade to say the least. Um I missed gold more than once last week. Um, gold kind of upset me a little bit, but it is what it is. I was trying to get this sell. I just barely missed it. Because if y'all know my method of trading, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys see the hezzy crossover here. I was just waiting for that wick to get taken right here before I sold, and that didn't quite happen, right? And it doesn't always have to happen. I mean, stuff happens. It's trading. But it was right there. It just didn't quite tag me in, which would have allowed me to sell just based off of my technique and my strategy. Now, if I was aware of this, if I saw this happening, I probably would have just took it manually, because my goal is to not miss out on a trade over a few pips, right? Like I never want to miss out on a trade completely over something that's not really that, critical, right? It has to be a lot of pips for me to miss out on. So, here's, the stop loss would have just been 26 pips instead of 23 or 24. So if I would have seen that, I definitely would have took it. Just unfortunately missed out on that opportunity. Then it came and took the lows that we literally had marked off and then took off. So it's just, I missed the sell and the buy. So I was kind of pissed off about that. But it's a part of trade. And I also wasn't trying to beat myself up too much because the market was just opening, fresh year. So now what I see is realistically, I do believe that this market can continue up. Just based off of the price action that I've been seeing. Obviously we had, some weak lows here, weak lows, and we came and cleared that out, right? We cleared out lows here as well as lows all the way over to the left as well. So when we think about that, we've cleared multiple areas of sell side liquidity. The market should go up now. Like it really has no reason to go back towards these lows. These lows should be protected considering how much liquidity was taken, considering that there's a lot of profit taking as well in those low areas. So, the market should give us a nice reaction, a nice retracement. So now what I'm going to do is look into, this whole area, right? Now this is my trading range. Now that I understand this is my trading range, I'm going to look in the low areas to see if there's anywhere that I could possibly get in. All right, I see this as a sell to buy formation right here. But on top of that, it's sort of irregular. It's not like a perfect sell to buy candle. So you kind of got to, use a little more imagination with this one. But if I was to mark this up right here, if I just mark up the candle bodies, right? I'm not going to really mark up the wicks. I see that 50% is laying right there, right? Now let's zoom in on that 50% right there. I also notice how we have an area of imbalance, right? But also we have like, I don't know if they call it a hammer, I believe, right? But either way, you got like this long candle down and then but it closes up here. So that means on the lower time frame, that's like a V-shaped reaction, right? Like whenever you see a candlestick like that on the lower time frame, this is what happened. The market shot down and it shot right back up, right? So realistically, that means that that candle is probably an area of demand on the lower time frame that we can come back into and buy from, right? So let's just go down to the 1 minute and see if there's any truth to that. Then on top of that, just before I continue, we have this area of imbalance as well. So we have this sharp reaction candle right here, followed by imbalance, and that's happening in front of the sell to buy candle, happening right on top of the 50% as well. So when I see all of those things line up, that's the area that I would look to buy from. All right. So just looking at this, all right, not the sharpest reaction I've ever seen, but it will suffice what it is that we're looking to do. I'll probably get in literally like right at the 50% and just see what it is that we can accomplish from there. All right. I want to see if anything changes if I mark this up just a little different. Get in just a tad bit lower. Either way, I want to kind of look to get in like on top of this candle within that area of imbalance as well. Now, something I want you guys to notice about that area also is that, the market is on top of all of this information. The market is also creating weak lows right above that area, right? So whenever you see that, understand that there's a buildup because remember what we discussed before. There's traders that trade support and resistance, okay, that are buying prematurely because they see a potential double bottom pattern. So now that there's a pocket of money resting right here, the market will probably push up too. It'll push up a little bit. And so that way it start pushing up, guess what? More people gonna start buying. And then this pocket of money gets bigger and bigger. Eventually, I feel like we'll come back down, take out those people. Once that money is taken, now it's available on the other side of the market. And then I feel like we'll go ahead and go bullish from there. All right. We also got you know, if you know, you know. We are all my community and course students, you know what that is. And I gotta leave something to imagination. So I'm not gonna go all the way in detail, but we should all know what that is. Which also validates our point of interest. All right. So far as gold is concerned, this is what I see on gold. I'm gonna use the line tool just to make it a little more clean. Yeah, I feel solid about this. I like that sell candle right there. All right, bet. So yeah, I'm assuming that this is going to just build up liquidity. Other thing I like to do is I like to analyze lows and highs, and then I tell myself like, can I see those lows making new highs? Or if I'm looking for a sell, I ask myself, can I see those highs making new lows? So in this buy scenario, I'm gonna look at these lows. I'm gonna say, do I think these lows can make new highs? I don't think so. So that's why another reason why I think the market has to go lower first, because I don't think these lows are gonna send the market up 500 pips. I just don't believe that's gonna happen. Let's keep it pushing. I don't want to keep y'all on here too long. We already been on for about 40 minutes. I'm gonna move quick. Gold. I did take a little L on this. I had my stop loss a little too tight. The market did go bullish for a little bit, but it ultimately ended up reversing again. So it was like not necessarily worth the risk. Okay. I mean, it's worth the risk. It just wasn't uh the setup wasn't really that worth it. But now I feel like this is a much cleaner setup to say the least. A lot cleaner than what we had just saw previously. Um I'd anticipate the market continuing bullish. Where it currently is right now, it's almost kind of hard to say whether it's gonna make a higher low or a new low. Like that would be option A. Then option B is just for it to go a little lower first. Either way, I do think it's gonna go bullish. This is just the reality of the market. Sometimes I have more than one method of entry, or more than one entry point, just because if I rely on one and one only, there's a good chance that that one might not get hit, and then there's nothing you can do. So I'm willing to take a loss on my first option to try to get in on my second option and make the loss back and then end up in profit. So, as traders, I want y'all to understand, like, you don't have to be one and done every day. Every time you trade doesn't have to be one attempt and then stop. Like, you can actually take, 2, 3 trades a day, maybe even 4, depending on what your risk, like what you're risking per trade. Like I risk 0.5% per trade on my funded account. If you're doing that, then you could realistically, lose 3, 4 trades in a row without it really dipping into your capital too much. You know what I'm saying? But if you win, you're gonna make 4 or 5%. Like that's just kind of how I go. So I am looking at this. I'll probably take an opportunity here, but if that don't work out, I'll probably try to get in underneath that low, because overall I do believe we're bullish. It's just how are we gonna get into the bullish scenario is the question. But overall, I do believe that Nas is gonna be bullish this week. All right. Let me check the chat real quick. See what y'all asking. All right, Nas, EU, DXY. I mean, I think the DXY will probably end up going bearish this week. Um, it came and cleared out these highs, had a huge, liquidity grab right here. That's for NFP, I'm assuming. Yeah, NFP. So now I kind of just feel like it'll end up like continuing a little bit. I was always skeptical of this wick down here. Like I always thought that wick was strange. I was like, okay, we're gonna come back for that wick eventually. I didn't know when, but I just felt like that wick is not gonna hold. So I still feel that way. I would be looking for the market to at the very least just come down, take that out. Um, that should give us some bullishness on gold, bullishness on GU, bullishness on EU as well. So I'm looking at that at least. Hopefully come back down to like, 100.8. maybe a little lower than that, but that's just like an area that I'm paying attention to. All right. I'm gonna look at GU and then EU. So GU, I had the zone marked off. Fortunately, missed that one as well. I don't know. I missed a few setups last week. It's kind of irritating, but I actually thought that we would come and clear this low. So this move up was interesting because I did think we would clear this low out completely. But since we didn't, um, I feel like the market will eventually come back for it. I just don't know when exactly. I don't think this is going to be like a week where I'm paying heavy attention to GU just because I have questions about these lows. However, that push up is pretty interesting. I just don't like trading in areas where liquidity is being built. Now, technically, we did take out the low right here, so that could have been the reason why the market kept going. But I figured we could possibly go back at that low one more time, and we stopped right above it and then continued up. So, considering that I kind of have conflicting, areas of liquidity, I probably won't pay too much attention to this week. I'll see what EU is doing. Obviously, a lot of things can change, but just for me trading, I like when liquidity is clearly grabbed. Like here, had the low here, and then NFP clearly grabbed it before pushing higher. So I would feel more comfortable buying EU than GU at the moment, even though they're gonna probably correlate and do the same things. It's really just more about having my requirements met to take a trade. So just with that, I could see EU going bullish for a while, at least for the fronter half of this week. I'm not saying that the DXY can't finish, going higher. I just feel like it's gonna go lower off of that NFP reaction. So with that, I could see the Euro USD continuing up. How high it'll go, not quite sure. I do see, a set of weak highs up here that I see the market could potentially go attack. So maybe, you know, 1.11 or a little bit lower, like 1.108, somewhere in this area. I feel like the market probably has enough power to get up towards these highs over here. And once we get up there, we could assess that, supply zone when we get there, because that is a high that made new lows that hasn't been, properly mitigated yet. So there is a realistic expectation for us to come to this area and then get a reaction. All right. Again, I'm gonna just speed it up just a little bit, because we got a lot of pairs to cover. I literally end up catching this trade on accident, y'all, because I remember what happened now. The first drop, I missed this one because you see, this was like December 29th. And I don't think I was trading at the time because I was just like waiting until New Year's, and I was like, I missed that one, whatever, whatever. So I put a pending order right here just in case, just in case. But then I told myself I wasn't trading. So it was like, the first came around, and, I had actually entered this trade on accident because I wasn't even paying attention. And like this thing had me up. I was like lit. Like I checked my phone to take a GU trade. I was gonna put in, like, I was just checking my balance so that way I could go to my lot size calculator and know what lot size to use. And then I was up like a couple grand. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that trade. So like that was a banger. Nice 5 pip stop loss, ended up working out. That's kind of cool. Um pendant orders, they can come in handy sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. You just gotta know where to take them. AU, I would say considering that I'm kind of like bullish on gold and all the other pairs, and I'm bearish on the DXY, I would say AU is bullish as well, right? This kind of looks like gold, essentially. I mean, we're pushing up. We start to hesitate a bit. We cross over bullish. You see the weak highs, right? Like, and I'll give you guys this free gem. Whenever I'm like deciding what direction the market is going, I look at which side of the market is taking liquidity, and then I look at which side of the market is creating it, right? So one side is always going to be taking, and one side is always going to be creating, right? So considering that this low right here, we circle this low, then I look over to the left, right? I think I had to go back that far. We go to the 30-minute. But look, I look over to the left and there's a low over here, right? So that means like the lows are taking liquidity, okay? But then if I look at the highs, this high didn't do anything. It didn't clear anything. It just made a high, right? It didn't take anything of any significance, right? We look over here, this is a weak high. Even over here, we got weak highs over here, right? So, and like over here, there's more weak highs. Like you see a series of weak highs all the way over here, right? So I could just, it's the dollar sign right there, right? So just understanding that the market is likely to come back down. Once it does that, we go bullish to take out the money resting up there. All right. So that's AU. X Figueroa. Hope I'm saying that right. I'm about to check out your setup. Strong highs, weak lows. I mean, it's just a high or a low. A strong high is just a higher low that takes liquidity, and a weak low or a weak high is just a higher low that does not. S&P 500. Did you mark this up, or are these indicators that you use? All these breaks of structure and stuff. I mean, it looks solid to me. I mean, like I said, I'm bullish on Nas, so I could see the S&P following. They typically do the same thing. So, very nice setup, bro. Very nice setup. I don't even know if y'all could have seen it. I think I'm just sharing my Telegram app, so y'all didn't see the screen share when I went to my browser just now. But he was just looking at a buy on S&P, and we are already bullish on Nas, so that should follow suit. All right. I'm just took a quick glance through the pairs real quick here. Then we can call it a day. All right. I want to make sure this thing gets uploaded in a timely manner. Euro JPY has a potential for bearishness. We just got to see whether or not it's going to retrace or not. I look at this as like a area of distribution, in my opinion. The market is just ranging, collecting orders, or distributing orders, whatever you want to call it. Don't really matter. At the end of the day, the market cleared highs. As it cleared highs, it starts consolidating and going into a distribution type of phase, right? So with that being said, I do anticipate Euro JPY to make a drop off. I'm just curious to see if we can come back up to a higher point that makes it a little safer to sell from. I'm in clear highs here. I don't even trade JPYs like that, but I might have to today whenever this setup is ready. Looking for something like that. Real simple. All right. I would be looking for that if I were you guys. So Euro JPY, look at like 159. Or not 150, 159, my bad. 158. Like 158.7. I think that's solid. 158.7. 158.68. Like, in that area. You guys will have a recording too. So, just take that, mark it up on your chart as well, and just, see where the numbers line up. Euro AUD is a bit of a mess to say the least. Probably say it'll be bearish this week. Might continue bullish towards the end of the week. I'm not really sure. I do think, if it retraces, I'll be looking to go bearish at least on the intraday level. And then maybe I'll switch my bias up a little later. So sell for now. If we get a little lower, maybe into this area, might look for buys. Just depends on what happens first, right? We come down here, possibly buy. We come up here, I probably sell just due to the sweep of the high right here. So we cleared those highs, pushing into some areas of supply to the left. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a sell-off from there. So just keep your eyes on that. Euro Chef, massive consolidation, not worth trading. It's just going to frustrate you. Already went over G Chef. GA, in a similar boat as Euro AUD. Probably go bearish to start off. It might switch up later on. A lot of consolidation on GBP Chef, so I wouldn't trade that this week. Already went over Nas. Did we look at USD CAD already? USD CAD had a massive buy that I wish I was in, man. He gave me multiple. Like I was first looking at this one, and then the market came back and gave us the real big buy. So that's kind of irritating. But yeah, I do anticipate USD CAD going bearish just to start the week. It might continue bullish a little later on, right? So let's pay attention to these lower areas of the region. I'm looking at this as like a potential trading range. Or this is the low, this is the high. The market could just make a higher low and continue. So that's something I'm gonna be paying attention to as well. All right. So I don't really trade none of those other USD pairs. Pairs that start with USD anyway. I don't trade UJ. I don't really trade U Chef either. So outside of that, that's pretty much all I got, guys. All right. That's pretty much all I got. We got a few different setups, man. We got gold, we got GCAD, we got, AUD USD potentially if it plays out. We got Euro JPY. So, there's a handful of trade setups that are in this gonna be on this video. So definitely make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. It will be uploaded momentarily, right? I need to let it download off Zoom, then I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. When the moment it's uploaded, I'll drop it in the chats so you guys know where to find me, right? With that being said, if you are calling in from the free group, I would love to see you guys become a member of Trade Genius Academy, either through the course or the community. The course, obviously, you have all the videos that you can watch at your own pace, your own leisure. You can record, you can rewind, you can take notes at your own speed. Then there's a plethora of case studies. I will be adding some more tonight as well because I did spend some time creating more case studies And it's just a lot of value in there in terms of becoming a self-sufficient trader. Or if you guys would like to join the Trade Genius community, all right, which is $60 a month, where I literally go live 6 times a week. Again, I don't know anybody else that does that 6 times a week. That's $60 per month. All right. We trade live New York session 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we trade pre-London, right? So not necessarily London, but a couple hours before London. We look for some trade setups Monday evening, Thursday evening, and then I do a technical Tuesday call, right? So understand, guys, I want you guys to tap in as soon as you can because I will be increasing the price in the near future, right? Not by a whole lot, but just incrementally as we get more testimonials, as more things start to pop up, especially on my plate. I am a new father. Also, I'm literally launching 3 businesses at the same time. So just again, my time is increasingly increasing in value. So, it will be increasing in price also. So just with that, tune in while you can. What I don't mind doing as well is I always do this, right? I always do this. If you guys want to get Trade Genius Academy, just for y'all that was on this call, I will give you guys a special promo, okay? Special promo, $150 off, okay? Off promo. Use the code TG lit. Use the code TG lit at the checkout. All right. This is www.tradegeniusacademy.co. All right. TG lit, $150 off if you use that promo. All right. If you use this code. Okay. This promo will go active in the next 5 minutes. So if you go to the website now and it doesn't work, that's why. Give it about 5 minutes for the code to actually go active. But if you use this, for everybody that tuned in, to the call today, and everybody that's going to tune in on YouTube, I'm going to keep this promo active for a week. All right. So don't waste time. Definitely grab that because there's been so many testimonials. I've been having nonstop promos, it seems like, but this is one that's just specially for y'all. I don't know when the next one is going to be. It'll probably be a little while. All right. So let's start the year off right. Looking forward to all the new family members, all the current family members. Let's have an excellent week. Holla at me in the chats if y'all need me. I'll be sending some setups here momentarily. Y'all want to send your own setup so I can critique whatever y'all need. Let's get to it. I'll see you guys at the top from the top because the bottom's way too crowded. Never look down on y'all unless it's to help y'all up. Love y'all, man. See y'all on the next call. Peace.